What is objectivity? I don't think there's a journalist out there who has never heard of it. It is a concept, a principle to others that seems to be there for as long as we can remember. And yet, centuries later, people are still arguing about what it really means. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. This is Mema with Jael Yao. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig sa aking very first episode na parang, oh my God, I am so lost. Ano bang dapat kong gawin? So, para po sa mga hindi nakakaalam, this is my version 2.0, ala new normal na version ng aking vlog, which I started like I think sometime last year. That's when I started vlogging via YouTube, through my YouTube channel. No? So, doon ako nag-umpisang mag-vlog. Pero I wouldn't say na talagang nag-take off talaga siya kasi parang nakailang episode lang ako doon and hindi rin naman nga ganun nga nag-take off yun. No? So, for many reasons, no? Parang halimbawa like meron akong mga 2 or 3 episodes na nakabangko, na never kong na-edit because unlike others na may budget, ganyan, ako syempre medyo wala tayo nun. So, from conceptualization, ganyan, ako lahat, pati from editing, ganyan. So, medyo mahirap talagang i-sustain, especially kapag maraming ganap sa buhay, maraming mga tasks na tinitake, may full-time na work, and at the same time, syempre, may nanay, diba? So, maraming ganap-ganap sa buhay. So, nung nag-work from home, parang naisip ko, oh my God, this is the moment na dito ka sa bahay, dito ka nagtatrabaho, ito na yung moment ko, kayang-kaya na natin i-push na natin tong vlog na to. Which I attempted, talagang sinubukan ko rin naman. Parang, yeah, nakagawa ako ng, I think, 2 episodes simula nung nag-lockdown, simula nung nag-work from home kami sa opisina, na parang, ito na ba yun? Ito na ba yung best effort natin? So, isa talagang malaking factor sa akin is yung hindi ko siya kayang i-edit agad. So, pag hindi ko siya na-edit agad, ang tendency ay, like, so, tulad sa maraming bagay ay, hindi mo na talaga siya matatapos. So, kailangan kasi pag ganyan talaga, parang, pagkagawa mo, tira agad, edit agad, tapos na, tapos upload mo na, yay, gano'n, saya-saya, tapos na. But, yun nga, sabi ko nga kanina, para akong na-scam, alam niyo yon, itong work from home na to, na feeling mo, wow, may time ako para sa gawin, yung mga hindi ko nagagawa before. I mean, for others, I've seen like in news, nagawa nila, but then there are people like me na parang, dumaan yung maghapon, na parang, napagod ako, pero parang, anong ginawa ko? Pero parang pagod na pagod ka naman. So, na parang, feeling ko nga, parang, itong work from home na to, parang, mas nagtrabaho pa talaga ako, at mas pagod, compared to before, na parang, bakit ako sumasagot ng email at 3 a.m.? Bakit parang feeling ko compelled ka magtrabaho ng 24/7? May iba bang nakakaramdam sa inyo ng ganon? Kasi kung meron, please, paki-tweet sa akin sa aking sa Twitter ko. Anyway, so itong Mema with Jael Yao, which is actually my very first podcast dito sa Spotify and Anchor.fm. It's my attempt. It's my newest personal project to help educate, people about media, how the media work, and paano ba nag-news, paano ba yung process of news gathering, ano ba yung impact ng pandemic na to sa atin, no? For us people in the media and of course to the public. And sana makapag-tackle din ng issues affecting press freedom, freedom of expression, mga ganyan, mga burning issues na sobrang dami lately na parang, oh my God, 2020 na, kasi mapapaganon ka talaga. Anyway, so, ang plano ko is every Saturday, mag-upload ako ng bagong episode dito sa Mema with Jael Yao or Mema Matters with Jael Yao. So, lahat na may kinalaman sa media literacy, news literacy, kung interested kayo sa work ng mga journalists, ano ba yung mga dapat yung malaman, and yun, mga ganong bagay-bagay sa buhay. So, yun nga, so every Saturday, subukan nating mag-upload ng content for this. So, for our ayan na nga, so, for our very first episode, susubukan natin i-define ano ba talaga yung objectivity, no? So, sabi ko nga kanina, parang, it's a tale as old as time. Tama ba yun? Anyway, ako personally, una ko siyang narinig or na-encounter noong ako ay high school, I think. Yeah, high school ako nung una ko narinig ito. Kasi nga, sumali ako sa news publication, no? Sa news publication. Very curious kasi ako how media outfits work, ano ba yung experience ng mga journalists, kasi syempre nakikita mo sila sa TV, nababasa mo yung kanilang mga sinusulat, so very curious ako sa ginagawa nila, and it's one of the many reasons why I decided to join the campus paper. So nung sumali ako doon ko una siyang narinig, kasi meron syempre mga pa-training yan, here and there, mga kung anong mga journalism conferences, di ba? Pag sa mga high school, elementary and high school, may mga ganyang pa-contest na sinasalihan yung mga estudyante. So, dahil ako ay bida-bida, nung ako ay estudyante, sumali nga ako sa newspaper. Pero, hindi ko matandaan kung paano ko ba siya na-appreciate at that time. Pero parang, kasi nga, if you watched my very first episode sa vlog ko, sa YouTube channel ko, malalaman nyo na isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit ko siya eventually, bakit ko sineryoso, bakit ko pinursu talaga tong career na to. Kasi nga, isa sa mga pangarap ko is maging PBA, courtside reporter ba yung tawag doon? Basta yung nandoon, kasi crush na crush ko si Jan Arrigo ng Alaska, dati siyang Alaska. So sabi ko, ito na yung paraan ko para magkatuluyan kami kasi nga super crush ko siya. So yun talaga, yun talaga yung reason ko, no? Ang saya-saya, 'di ba? Napaka-deep, no? Napaka-deep ng aking passion for journalism. Nasa ganun ko siya na umpisahan talaga, no? So the love for journalism eventually just, parang na-develop na lang din kami sa isa't isa kasi andyan na yan parang ito na yung course na kinuha mo di ba? So ayun na nga, no, nung hindi ko alam kung paano ko siya na-appreciate kasi, yun nga, marang medyo mababaw pa, very, very theoretical lang na parang, ito media, you have to be objective, you have to be impartial, kailangan balance, ito yung mga qualities of that makes a report a good report, mga ganyan. So, very theoretical pa yung appreciation mo of what objectivity is. And, I really doubt kung naintindihan ko ba talaga siya. Basta parang pag tinanong siya sa exam, alam mo na yun. 'Di ba? Pero kung paano talaga nag-i-impact yung objectivity sa trabaho natin, sa work natin, no idea talaga kung paano yun. Anyway, so, yung objectivity, I had a better grasp of what objectivity is when I was already in college. No? So, nung college ako, I had the privilege of studying at a school na nagpo-push ng critical thinking, no, and I have my sane school professors to thank me for that. So talagang na-hone ka na parang hindi ka pwedeng matali sa ganito. There's no such thing as talagang parang totoo ba? Parang gano'n. There's no such thing as na parang absolute na objectivity and so forth. So okay, so lahat pa na natutunan ko before ay mali, ganyan. Pero it really just gave me a preview of how the media work. Talagang nakita mo doon, like when you're studying the conf theories and all, na parang, ganito pala, ito pala yung sinasabi nila. So, I remember writing for the Philippine Daily Inquirer's Youngblood. Meron pa ba nun? I think meron pa. And I really encourage the young people to write and to have their name published at PDI's Youngblood. Parang nung time ko, ewan ko ngayon pero nung time ko parang yun yung big deal na parang, uy, na-publish siya dito, ganyan. So anyway, sana mahanap ko yung kopya. I had that, so yun na nga, so nagpunta ako ng nagsulat ako, nag-contribute ako for PDI. I never expected na makukuha nila yung aking entry. Anyway, ang topic ko noon because my then ex-boyfriend was killed because of a frat war. So sumulat ako that the media should give a human face to victims of injustices. Kasi nga, parang nagiging part na lang, kalimitan nagiging part na lang ng statistics, yung mga ganitong cases na parang, okay, and I kind of blamed objectivity for that. And rightly so, I think, no, na parang ganon. So, as I've earlier said, no, yung objectivity is perhaps a concept as old as journalism. And yet, to this day, we continue to argue about what it really means. And nito ngang mga nakaraang araw ay naungkat na naman tong objectivity dahil noong panahon ng hearings no ng ABS-CBN franchise renewal na parang ang lahat ay biglang naging journalism professor. Parang all of a sudden lahat ay journalism professor na. So parang OMG, di ba? Ayan. So parang ilang beses ko na bang sinabing OMG? Remind me on my second episode to never use the term OMG. Yon. So, to be more precise, objectivity was adopted around 19th century yata ito. Yata, hindi sure. Nagbigay pa ng media literacy kung hindi pala siya sure. Anyway, so yung yung objectivity, I mean, is adopted about mga mid-19th century as journalists tried to veer away from yung very religious na take on journalism to more scientific, even empirical ones. So, kung naalala niyo, I mean, here in the Philippines, ang unang-unang libro na nalimbag ay ang ang doktrina Kristiyana, no? So, 'di ba, how Catholic? So, yun yung unang librong na nailimbag nga sa Pilipinas. So, sa US naman, kasi syempre isa sila sa mga naging advanced na rin pagdating sa pag-aaral, pag-practice no, ng journalism. Sa US, naging crucial, again, no, naging very controversial din na topic among journalists and communication researchers yung tungkol sa objectivity. Kasi noong around 1940s to 1950s, ang sinasabi nga ng mga communication scholars, mga media scholars, na parang naging stenographers ang mga journalists rather than doing their job. Lagi ko to sinasabi sa mga pag may nag-interview, mga estudyante who wants to understand how the media work. Like ko sinasabi that whenever I say that journalists are not stenographers, I always say that, this is not to parang belittle the work of stenographers. I'm just saying that they are completely two different species and magkaiba sila ng ginagawa. Apples and oranges. Ganun lang kasimple. I'm not trying to put anyone down or parang, journalist kami, ganyan. So anyway, magkaiba nga sila ng trabaho, di ba? So parang ganun. Hindi pa rin pala sure. Ayan, so, anyway, bakit crucial tong around 1940s to 1950s in the US? Kasi it allowed, no, the likes of Senator Joseph McCarthy and his unsubstantiated attacks to be published and aired without even being challenged. Or kung na-challenge man, parang yung challenge na parang hindi siya sure. Yung challenge pero parang he said, she said lang yung dating. Na parang, kasi sinabi niya eh. 'Di ba? Yung ganon. Parang ang naging is, we're just reporting facts. Yun na yun. Kung ano yung sinabi, yun na lang yung i-report namin. And that for us, at that time, they believed that for us, for journalists back then, that they believed that it was what objectivity was all about. 'Di ba? So, ano yung naging problema? Siyempre, 'di ba, yung media, the public really trusts the media na kung ano yung lalabas sa media, it must be something true, 'di ba? Kasi nilabas sa media, dumaan na sa tinatawag na journalistic process, hindi ba? So, in our future episodes, we'll try to you will try to look more closer with wrong grammar. So, we'll try to look closer sa journalistic process on how we journalists yung process na pinag-araanan namin ng mga journalists, how we do it from news gathering, paano ba namin yung pinipili. So yun na nga, so the public kind of expect na kapag nasa media na, ibig sabihin it must be true, dapat dumaan na yan sa isang proseso ng vetting, ganyan. So ano nangyari, no, nung panahon na ito, no, dark days really of journalism in the US, nag-launch ng parang mga series of Senate investigations kung sino-sino, lahat na lang mapagbintangan na mayroong di umano, no? For those who doesn't know McCarthy, na parang nagkaroon ng parang red tagging spree sa US dati na parang ang daming di umano ay mga nagkaroon daw ng communist infiltration in various US government agencies. So, parang familiar yata yan ngayon. Parang kakikita ko pa lang ng ganyang klase ng meme from Malaybalay Bukidnon Police Station. Hello, are you listening, guys? So, parang 1940s, 1950s, ginagawa na yan. So, at hindi ligtas dun yung mga countries like the US. So, at ginagawa pa rin yan hanggang sa ngayon. No? So, nakita natin, no, from that, we learned na hindi pwedeng ganon, no, yung pagiging objective. Hindi pwedeng ganon yung pagiging isang journalist. Na kung ano sinabi ng news source mo, yun na rin talaga yung ire-report mo. So, nakita natin yung importance of interpreting the data that we get and how do we remain quote-unquote objective. How we remain objective is actually it's actually the process, diba? Of how we do it. Yung babalikan natin yung journalistic process that you have the reports that you're doing should be based on facts that will try to get closer to the truth, as close as possible to the truth. Hindi naman yung philosophical kind of truth, pero yung truth na that we can verify, the truth na kayang tindigan ng datos, na kayang tindigan ng pinagdaraanan ng taong bayan. No? So, halimbawa, meron din naman kasi, like, for example, like, sasabihin ng government, ito yung data. So, okay, sige, totoo yan. Yan yung data, no? Hindi na, pero, ganyan ba yung na-experience on the ground? So, meron yung truth na nakikita mo on the paper, no? Pag mga paper trails, ganyan. Pero meron ding truth, yung experience, no? By the people, no? So, sa ganun mo siya, ganon kakalapit na kaya mong ilapit pa sa katotohanan. Yung kaya mong ilapit. Am I making sense? So, I don't know. Maybe this is not the path for me. Maybe podcasting is not for me. No, charot lang. So, I'll really, really try to do this, no? So, anyway, ang sad part lang is that, of course, though, we have to acknowledge na as journalists, hindi naman tayo robot na parang kung saan na lang nagmula, 'di ba? So, kanya-kanya tayo like ng pinanggalingan, meron tayong mga family values na kung saan tayo ay hinubog para maging tayo. Like for me, halimbawa ako, if you want to really to understand how I turned out to be, why I pursued alternative media. Kasi namulat ka sa ganong klase ng lipunan eh. And then, you had the privilege again of having like professors who opened your eyes to the reality na parang, hindi ka pwedeng magbulag-bulagan sa panahong ganito. Or else, complicit ka to the violence that's going on if you keep silent, diba? So, lahat tayo may ganyan. Lahat ng journalists may ganyan. Whether tama or misguided, no? Pero meron silang ganun. Meron silang pinanggagalingan. So, paano mo na balance yun, no? Yung personal biases mo din. Paano mo siya na ihihiwalay doon sa iyong trabaho because you have to be quote-unquote objective. So, halimbawa nga, yun, kailangan na verify siya, no? Kailangan may taong titindig dyan, may datos na titindig dyan, and hindi mo rin dapat tinitwist yung data para mag-serve kung anong advokasya na meron ka, di ba? So, like for me, I have like a very strong background on women and how women are being portrayed in the media. So, hindi ako pwedeng mag-invento ng data just to report something on that. I mean, kung na-assign ako sa ganong story, I get good, may nakuha akong magandang datos from government offices, from civil society organizations, at nag-swak siya, at ang ganda ng nangyari. Parang, that's well and good, di ba? It shouldn't hinder journalists, no? Yung objectivity shouldn't hinder journalists sa pagsasalita at, to have their own advocacies. Kasi nga, may prinsipyo tayong sinusundan. Okay? So ang sad reality dito nga is yung objectivity is sometimes like silences journalists to the point na in the US, may mga kaso kung saan hindi sila bumoboto, no? Yung mga mamamahayag, hindi sila bumoboto kasi nga they don't want to be perceived as biased na may pinili sila between, two competing parties, hindi ba? So, and that for me is really like enraging na parang, for example nga, yung right to vote, hindi yan lumitaw lang na parang, nandito na ako, right to vote, you can go ahead, no, cast your ballots. Hindi siya ganyan, hindi siya lumabas ng ganyan. Nagkaroon tayo ng karapatang bumoto kasi pinaglaban yan. May mga namatay para magkaroon tayo ng karapatang bumoto. And yung objectivity nga, ginagamit nga siya. Pero of course, that's one aspect. No, ngayon sa experience natin here in the Philippines, parang ganon ulit yung ginagawa na parang, you have to be objective. Teka lang, why are you putting us in a bad light? Why are journalists putting the government in a bad light? Na parang, hindi po namin trabaho, no? Hindi na trabaho ng media na pagwapuhin kayo o pagandahin kayo. Trabaho niya yan. Trabaho yan ng PR ninyo. Ngayon, kung hindi na pick up yung PR ninyo, hindi po namin kasalanan yun, no? So once again, no, talagang yung objectivity is mahabang history yan, and I think I'll be dedicating 2 or 3 episodes on this, on objectivity, kasi nga, ang habang usapin, and I want to clarify everything. At sa tingin ko, every time we have an episode, babalik at babalik about what objectivity really means. Hindi siya yung hindi kami robot. Hindi robot yung mga mamamahayag na kung ano yung sabihin, yun na yun. We are truth tellers. So kapag sinabi ninyo na, tingnan nyo, 'di ba? Meron may meme nga na parang kung sinabi ng source mo that the sky is yellow, hindi mo siya i-report ng ganon. It's your job to look outside, open the window, look outside, and say, no, the sky is blue. Because as journalists, we are truth tellers. Hindi kami, again, I have nothing bad against public relations, pero hindi rin kami public relations. No? That's, again, another species, another field na iba rin yung ginagawa, hindi ba? So, ayun, I think we will have so many episodes on this, at sana hindi kayo manawa. I have a Twitter account. It's Ja Eliao. O, diba? Napaka-boring. It's Ja Eliao. I have a Twitter account and it's Ja Eliao. So, I really hope you can follow me on Twitter. And, of course, you can, if you can share this episode, malaking tulong sa akin. If you can share this episode. And, yun. So, I'm not gonna promise anything. Biglang naging tunog, hindi sure. Pero I will really try to upload content every Saturday morning para naman may pakinggan kayo habang nag-aalmusal na very energetic like me. So, sana may matutunan kayo. And sa mga pamema natin every morning. So, kayo, anong mema nyo this week? Kung meron din kayong mga gustong pag-usapan, again, pwede nyo akong i-mention sa mga tweets ninyo. I'll be really excited na makakwentuhan kayo sa Twitter. So, yun. That's it. So, maraming salamat. Again, you are listening to Mema with Ja Eliao, and maraming salamat. That's all. Bye!